obviously, congrats to Loyola. You know, that was a good team out there tonight. That was a good Loyola team. It was a good Loyola effort. It's it's what I kind of expected. Charlie and his staff had to do a great job of bouncing back. You know, I've learned a lot from coaching against him and just being around him for a long time. Just watching how he always finds a way to pull the best out of his teams when it matters most. You know, I think for us tonight, I just said this downstairs. Tonight, I think the game was kind of it captured what our season was. You know, it was a year where I don't think we ever got to a place where we overachieved. I thought we underachieved through the year, and we were just wildly inconsistent. You know, and sometimes it showed itself for entire games. Sometimes it showed itself in spurts of games. And tonight it was the first half, and then you saw a burst of what this team could be. And you know, unfortunately for me and my staff, we got to take that personally. We didn't do a good job of pulling the most out of this group this year. And these seniors gave us everything they had because they fought their tails off. You know, the fact that Pat Skalniak is sitting next to me with a jersey on and competing like that for 60 minutes. The kid had a broken spine 6 weeks ago, you know, and he's out there. And I feel like we let those guys down. You know, as a staff, we let them down because we didn't do a good job pulling out their ability as consistently as we did. But as I told them in the locker room, I'm just extremely proud of these guys for fighting their tails off all year. They're exactly what this country needs. And for that, I can put my head on the pillow at night.
So, Joe, what did you think the key was to falling behind 7-1? And did you feel it's just too many turnovers on the offensive end, giving them the ball back?
It was a combination of that and the clearing game. We were just, for some reason, just extremely rattled. I just heard Charlie's comments where, you know, their offense played with charisma. It's a great way to describe the way they played, and I don't think we ever did anywhere on the field. You know, I felt like in the box defensively we were pretty locked in. Their transition goals, you know, hurt us. You know, and then we just made some just bonehead plays. You know, when we get the man up and then Jackson Peters, you know, mouths off, that's a moment where it's like, you know, we could have stole some momentum, but we didn't. And that's just one example, you know, but it was just poor decision-making in the clearing game. It was poor decision-making in subbing that gave them some transition. And offensively, we just were out of sync early on.
And how soon did you know you were going to be able to play tonight? Just what have the last couple months in general been like, the shortened version of it, I guess?
Yeah, I figured out that I was going to be playing Tuesday. Was it Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday I went to go see a specialist. I did a CT scan. I was in there for hours, and I spoke with my team doctor, and I got the green light. The last few months have been a struggle, but, I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be able to be surrounded by these teammates and this coaching staff, because while I might be on the sideline, not with the jersey on, I'm with my best friends watching them compete, and I get to see someone else take my place on whatever midfield line. And it's just a real, when you love each other, when you have a brotherhood like we do, it's always next man up. You know, we don't rebuild, we reload. And I'm very, very sad that we lost tonight, but hats off to Loyola. But I'm the luckiest guy in the world to be surrounded by these groups of leaders, friends, and coaching staff. And I'm truly honored and blessed to have worn the Navy jersey just one more time, and coach believing in me and put me back out there. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Joe, were you surprised that he could produce 2 goals and an assist with considering the layoff? And
No, not surprised at all. I mean, that kid, you've seen him for 4 years, you know, since he's been a freshman. He's played just like that. And, you know, I expected him to be worse, honestly, you know, but not surprised that he battled all night. You know, he wanted the ball on his stick, and he played like he was in unbelievable shape. And the kid hasn't run. He hasn't run. And here he is playing 60 minutes, taking every shift in the second half and coming off with energy, and just super proud of him, you know. Hopefully he gets a chance in the pro league this summer and goes off to flight school and does exactly what this country needs him to do.
shooting's been a bit of an issue all season. Again, another, a lot of shots off cage. And of course, their goalie makes 18 saves, but your thoughts on the shooting tonight?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought their goalie played extremely well. It's probably their best goalie performance they've had in a long time. I know they've been struggling there, but certainly shooting for us has been one of our Achilles heels, and that's something that as a staff we have to look at and work on and come up with better ways to work on it and get the right repetitions in the off season because, we got some looks. We didn't shoot great all year long. That's been kind of something that we've always pointed to in each game.
Kyle, how would you kind of size up you guys at least 6v6? I mean, they got a couple transition, obviously, the one in the end and the thing at the end of the first half. Did you feel like you had them not necessarily completely under control, but the kind of game you wanted to have defensively besides some of the extracurricular stuff there?
Yeah, I think like Coach Amplo and Coach Orson, they prepped us as good as any game for on the defensive end, and we had a great game plan. And I think we executed it inside the box against a team like Loyola. You gotta, just playing good 6-on-6 defense inside the box isn't gonna win you the game. So I was proud with how we played in that part of the game, but like I said, against Loyola, it's between the lines on the defensive end, clearing, that's all up to us. And we let each other down with how we played there. We were prepared coming into it, in terms of our game plan, and the coaches preparing us. We just didn't execute. That's disappointing.
Joe, 8 straight losses in the tournament. How crucial is that to get that turned around going forward?
Listen, I was brought here to do a job, and I haven't done it yet. That's unfortunate. We haven't won a Patriot League tournament game since 2010, and I take that personally. And I'm sure there's many people that are very disappointed that this team underachieved, and there's nobody who takes that harder than me. So we got a lot of work to do as a program. We got some decisions that we have to make, and we have to be better. We have talent here. We have some guys coming in, but this team underachieved, and I'm not afraid to say that. I'm never going to shy away from that. This team did not get the most out of what was in there, and that's on me as the head coach.